So as I was saying, the Cypress District Baptist Association, about a decade before Mayo established East Texas State University, then Mayo College, this Baptist Association led an establishment of multiple congregations in church buildings across the Northeast Texas area, and that included Mount Moriah Baptist Church, which is still in full operation. According to Church Foundry, original citizens formed the Cypress District Association precisely because, and in this rewrite of their early history, the preface says they formed it precisely because they, quote, would not be mastered by a negative past, neither would they be dominated by the social, political, and economic injustices of their times, quote. In fact, as Williams argues, the churches established during the same period were, quote, not too far removed from the black night of slavery, and the dust of affliction had not wholly lifted from their longing path. So we can see a little pain in this, but these were the centers for political moves, and this is the church building that stood on those grounds from 1896 until the turn of this century, and when they built a new building in the year 2000. Like many black communities, the church soon became the social, cultural, and political hub of the Norris community, including the Norris School. And this is a picture of the Norris School. And this gentleman that you saw here is a church founder. In 1964, So here's our little parallel history. In 1889. These are some early pictures from our archives. William Mayo brings East Texas State University to Commerce, Texas. In 1896, Henry C. Riley establishes Mount Moriah Temple Baptist Church. And here is a group of founders also in our archives. As I said, this building stood, and on that same site, the historical marker that we were able to make happen, the very first in the African American community of commerce, will be established there. One of our PhD students, J.P. Sloop, was able to push that through, working with Jim Conrad and myself, and that has been forged. The historical marker has been forged, and it will be put in place very soon. So we see this pool is still there. It's the baptismal that is not in operation as a baptismal any longer. It's actually been contaminated by a factory that used to exist on the edge of the Norris community that we discovered had to be remediated in the mid-90s, eventually closed in some lawsuits. But a number of the individuals working in the Norris community worked for the railroad. The Cotton Belt Railroad is a major force and worth exploring more of in the Norris community. Some of these images are actually from East Caney, but they represent rural areas, and it's worth looking at. But they had their own businesses. They had, a very rich life in the Norris community. If they went to this, I think she's right here. Opal Pinnell from the Norris community. This is her. This is inside the Mount Moriah Temple Baptist Church. So, but for all of this time, though, the timelines were exactly parallel. This is the white-sided town. There was no interaction amongst the two. Commerce was established, and the timelines did not cross, except that these folks came to work at the university. They cleaned the houses in the white communities, and then they went home. That is until 1964. These are rule patterns that happened elsewhere. It was very common, but 1964 changed things.